Sure. So I'm Dev Aditya. Great to be here in Africa. I'm the CEO and AI architect of Ottomans Institute. We build AI teachers. We deploy AI teachers.
Where are you based?
We are based in London, United Kingdom. We work in about 24 countries. But we deploy AI teachers that work without the internet. And for the whole of Africa, the seed was sown here in Kenya. We are working closely with the ICT Authority, with the ICT Ministry, with the British High Commission in Nairobi. And it's absolutely great to be here. Great energy this morning.
Why are you here and what are your take-homes for this in the next couple of days?
Well, we are here to showcase what we are trying to do, how we are working with the government, because Kenya is the country that showcased the world over and over again, right? Let's talk about digital payments, M-Pesa. So can we talk about offline AI? Because the internet still is a bottleneck. And we are here to showcase what we are doing, gather partners, and really ramp up for the next year.
It's a good thing that you mentioned AI and Africa is adopting AI. Kenya has been in the region one of the leaders. This may be why you are here and some of the challenges in the AI sector, including cybersecurity.
See, cybersecurity is one problem, right? I think the biggest problem when you're talking about last mile usage of AI is still connectivity. That's what we have solved, right? And when you have a system like ours, it's called Edge AI, which is offline AI, it is also safer in terms of privacy because a lot of that compute happens on your device. It doesn't go to the cloud, right? So there are a lot of steps and challenges that need to be figured out, but I think Kenya is going to be the first in Africa to do it. Yeah.
And after the summit itself, this year we're talking about actually implementing what we've been looking at in the last year, for example, 2024 and 2025. This year being one of the years that we are looking at where we are. As a continent, UK, of course, is a little bit ahead of Africa in terms of AI adoption and, of course, technology. Where do you see Kenya and African countries in regards to where we are in terms of AI and cybersecurity?
See, I think every year the steps matter. I'll give you an example. Last year, the curriculum of ICT Authority for digital upskilling of 20 million citizens was launched. Guess what? This year, we are teaching your people using our system that curriculum. So every year, the steps matter. From an African standpoint, there is no doubt that you're going to catch up in AI, right? You've got a lot of talent. But more importantly, you have to. Because by 2050, I think 1 in every 4 people in the world is going to be African, right? So it's about who writes this script. I think Africa is going to certainly write the script. And it's not about being too late. That's not a problem at all. I don't see that as a problem. You can see it all around you.
Yeah. What does Africa has that is just like you said in the next couple of years will be quite scaled up? What do you think Africa has that is special in terms of artificial intelligence and AI?
Okay, first of all, you've got youth. You're the youngest continent, right? You've got youth who are hungry to learn. Right. If you give them the right knowledge, which we do, for instance, they are going to learn, and you've got this army of youth who can really take you into spaces. Secondly, I think you've got a lot of natural resources, which is also required for things like data centers, right? So Africa is poised there. Now, also geopolitically, you're sitting right in the middle of, the Europe and the Asia and all of that, right? So if you're not going to take advantage of it, who will? But if we shouldn't only be positive here, I think there should be a sense of urgency. If there is no urgency, then you might miss the wave, which I absolutely don't want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And,
Thank you.
All the best in this convention.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Allow me just to rope in another expert in regards to this, because as I said, expecting over 1,500 exhibitors and also policymakers as well. Kindly tell us your name, from which organization that you're coming from, and why are you here at the Connected Africa Summit?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Dr. Baldi Ottomans, Director of Ottomans Institute from London, United Kingdom. As you just met my colleague, we're here to really showcase the work we've been doing, particularly in Kenya. We went to very remote places in Wajir, in Mandera, close to the Somalia border. And what we saw there was learners learning through our system, getting up skills, getting ready to take the next step and become what they want to become. And that's what we want to showcase here and see where else can we take this in Kenya.
Yeah, and based on the theme, we are uniting Africa innovation for an inclusive digital market. Where do you think we are as a digital market?
Well, I think you're right at the center of it. M-Pesa was born here. So you're already using digital payments. So let's use technology to also use education digitally, healthcare digitally, and I think Kenya can be the center to then go and amplify it to the regions around you, to see how you can be an example and that the others can follow. So I think we're right at the center of it today.
And we are also expecting policymakers. We're expecting the ICT Cabinet Secretary here in the country, and of course a number of other dignitaries here. And when you talk about policy and the turnaround time between when the policy is made and when the actualization is it, where are we as a continent?
think we're at the right moment at the moment. We are already working with your ICT Ministry and ICTA. It's been a great partnership, and I think that's where we can make the change. If we work together in partnership, policies can turn into actions and don't just stick on the shelf and become dusty. So I hope that we're going to get more actions today and in the next 3 days, so we can even amplify what we do with the partners around us to make sure that we can really grow as a continent.
And again, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked. What will be your take home in the next 4 days?
See who else we can partner with, because we can't do this alone. That's why we're working with the British High Commission Nairobi, the other partners we have here in Kenya, and to see how many more partners can we get to really amplify the work, so that all these other thousands of underserved and marginalized populations can also benefit from the current technology that exists.
Based on what you've seen in the other Africa Connected Summit and where we are in 2026, as a continent and as a region, Kenya being one of the biggest internet hub in Africa, where are we?
I think we started with the Kigali conference last year with the promise to make 15% of Africans AI literate. That's why we started our project, and to upscale already over 200,000 young people in Kenya to make them AI literate, because that's the first step. If they're not knowing what AI is, how will they be able to use it in their daily lives and in their professional lives? And that was where we started our wave here in Kenya. So I believe the continent is ready for this disruption, ready to take the lead and not fall further behind, to close the gap between Africa and the rest of the world.
Closing the gap. Final word.
Yes, closing the gap, that's what we're here for, to make sure the gap is as small as it can be, and hopefully actually it will not be there anymore.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very well, just like you've heard, is that we are indeed moving towards a digital space, and just like he said earlier on, is that 1 in 4 Africans has to be illiterate in the next couple of months, and we are at the center of it all. Allow me just to mention the key milestone we are expecting is the official launch of the Africa Connected Summit Secretariat, which will be chaired by Kenya. Kenya being the region, and of course the continent, one of the continents, the top guns or legal minds when it comes to information communication and technology. And we are also here with a number of companies. A number of companies are also here to showcase what they are doing in information technology, and also more specifically on cyberspace. And later on, we are also here with my colleague Alan Aoko, and we'll also be looking at some of the things that, building on 2024 and 2025 summits, where are we, not only as a country, but also as a continent.